ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We are looking at the jnana part of the 5th chapter, equating the freedom of the yogi, of the jnani, with a return from going round and round in the world of objects. From object to subject, there is a kind of a return. Why should this return be executed? Why is this return important? If we ask that question, and that question will come, because the person thinks, why should I return? Why not enjoy all the things in my life that I'm enjoying and also gain this knowledge? Isn't that possible? Yes, it is possible. And after a while, it will not matter, because once you understand that the source of enjoyment is yourself, then you can enjoy everything. You can enjoy anything at all without depending upon and craving for that thing. So this is a period of training the body, the mind, the senses, to see, to make oneself see that I can be freely living without anything at all. I don't need anything to complete me. And all the things that I think that I cannot live without, they are a problem because it is false. I can live without them. And it is true, people do live without them. And that's why all these TV shows we talked about earlier, going into the wild, etc., challenging oneself, what all can I live without? And aside from the thrill that it may give, and one knows it is for a short time, but even then, aside from all that, there is a great sense of freedom, even in the small things. One day there is no particular thing, like there is no coffee. I'm used to coffee, and there is no coffee. What happens when there is no coffee? Nothing happens. That's the point. Nothing happens. I'm okay. With coffee, I'm okay. Without coffee, also, I'm okay. And the myths that we tell ourselves, we spend a lot of time inheriting certain lies from the culture in which we grow up, from the family, and from past life, and from our own samskaras. And what are those lies? Lots of lies. Without this, I'm not okay. This is exactly how we do this in the family. And if we don't do this, something bad will happen. So many things we can think of. So there is a dependency. There is a dependency on objects. There is a dependency on people, on events, on circumstances. In other words, everything connected to the world I'm dependent on. And the Kathopanishad, when we study that, will say the following. What will it say? It's not your fault. Why? Because all the sense organs are outward facing. Everything is there to objectify the Jagat. Everything is there to objectify the Jagat. So the eyes are looking outside. The ears are geared towards the sound. Oh, is that a bird chirping? Oh, is that the sound of a car? Oh, what is this? What is that? Everything is like this. The tongue is out to objectify the tastes. The tongue is out to get the tastes, and the nose is out for all the wonderful aromas and scents. Paranchikhani, kham khe khani. Kham means the spaces where the organs are, the organs of knowing. So they are all focused outside. Paranchikhani. And because they are focused outside, Lord Yama says in the Kathopanishad, Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu. It's almost as though Bhagavan Swayambhu Swayam Bhavati. Bhagavan who is self-dependent, self-lit, self-effulgent, not world-dependent, not having an origin. So this Swayambhu Bhagavan without origin, what has this Bhagavan done? Vyatrinat iva, has as though destroyed all the jivas. Why? Why? How come Bhagavan can destroy her own creation? How come this is talked about? Because it has destroyed the jivas. Why? Because all the sarve janaha, all the people are outward oriented. Everybody is seeking what should be sought. Centered on the I is sought centered on the objects. Paranchikhani vyatrinat swayambhu. Parak pashyanti. Parak pashyati. Parak means outside. Everybody looks here, there to get solace. And the solace is where? Right here. It is not where the objects are. The solace is not object-centered, it is subject-centered. And then, parak pashyati na antaratman. Antaratmanam na pashyati. One is not able to connect to the Atma. Of course, you cannot see the Atma, but you cannot even identify with as the Atma, because the Golakas, the sense organs are all facing outwards. Oh, so are we really destroyed? Kathopanishad says no. It takes effort. It takes effort to turn within. And it is possible. Kaschit dhiraha. One wise person, one self-inquiring person, one person it takes to be able to say, wait a minute, to be able to examine and say, something is wrong. I'm just so much focused on all the things the world has to give me, and as a result, what? I'm dissatisfied. So before searching and before becoming world dependent, I mean, not that one was ever not world dependent, but even when I was world dependent, before means when I was world dependent, I was sad. Now I'm still searching world dependent. I'm still discontented, sad, angry, sorrowful. So what? So therefore, kaschid dhiraha antaratmanam aikshat. Finally, one person turns, does 180-degree turn and is able to see that Atma. See that Atma means understand the truth of oneself as free, whole, connected to everything of the nature of Ishvara. How does this person see or understand and identify at the Atma, as the Atma? Amritatvam icchan, desiring immortality. Sick and tired he or she is, one person, desiring immortality, sick and tired of being sick and tired, sick and tired of basically pursuing dead ends. What happens if you keep pursuing one dead end after another dead end after another dead end after another dead end? You become dead-ended. Dead-end. You become dead-end you become dead, as it were. You become dead-end to the realities. You become numb. It's like if you're driving, you go there and then one turn you take, detour, dead end. Oh, okay. Turn back, go somewhere else, dead end. Similarly, all the ends that are desired in life are dead end, dead ends. Marriage, if it is an end, not if it is a sadhana for inner growth, then it is not a problem. We are not talking of that. But if marriage is seen as the end and it is pursued as the end, and this is what is going to give me moksha, then what? One will have moksha from marriage. That's what. Because you have put all the hopes in one basket. You have put, this person is going to redeem me. This person is going to make me a better person. This person is going to give me happiness. And then that doesn't work. Marriage as a sadhana, yes, it is necessary. It works. Marriage as the end will not work. One dead end. Children, all the hopes now in the basket of the children. I could not finish college, so this child will not only finish college but will become a Nobel Prize winner, will become the President of the United States, because it's a powerful position. Will become this one, will become that one. What? Dead end. Job, of course, dead end. If it is an end, it will be dead. So you take a turn and put all the hopes in the basket of the job. I will shine, I will get promoted, I will get awards, I will get rewards. And then what? Dead end. Even if someone takes sannyasa for the sake of having a following, for the sake of glorifying one's life, dead end. But all these things as institutions to help me grow, not dead end. Suddenly the dead end board, is taken off, and the blocks on the road miraculously disappear, because this is just one more stop in the road to moksha. All the purusharthas are, stones, like paving stones, little cobblestones. Like at the back of the ashram, when we walk, we have these little stones there, that stoned paths full of stones, like that. So, whether it is any desire to be fulfilled, whether it is education, whether it is marriage, whether it is children, whether it is job, whether it is any other end, artistic end, music, fine arts, whatever I pursue are little stones, paved on the road to moksha. I have to look at them that way. So therefore, this is a very subtle distinction. This is a very subtle distinction which the Kathopanishad teaches us. Avritta chakshuhu amritatvam icchan. So if I desire limitlessness, amritatvam, the eyes have to turn inwards, so to speak, inwards. Not that the eyes will turn inwards, like somebody being possessed by, in the popular imagination, in the movies and all, somebody who is being possessed by a demon, the eyes turn like that. No. It's a what's it's called? A metaphor, that's all. So this inward turning is very, very, very important, to be able to do this subtle differentiation between all the things that I desire as a goal or as an end, which will not work, to convert the goal to the means. This is the transformation that the 5th chapter is wanting one to have. This is what the 5th chapter is wanting you to do. Convert all your various goals into means for the goal. And what is the goal? You. You are that which you seek. You are that which you want. You are that which to which you connect. This is what the thing is. And so convert all the goals that you have in your mind. I have to achieve this. I have to make this much money. I have to have this many children. I have to have this kind of a relationship with my spouse. I have to go here. I have to build this kind of a house. I have to make a name for myself. I have to take care of all the people in my life, starting with the parents. I have to do this. I have to do that. All these things. Have to, want to, need to, wish to. And then all that is fine. These are what are called human ends. The human ends are, other than moksha, are made into means, human means. Whatever I think is sadhya has to be converted to sadhana for this to work. And so, if this much is understood, it can actually be a breakthrough as we come to the conclusion of chapter 5. I want this to be a breakthrough for everybody. That whatever I desire is not the problem. The problem is I'm considering them as goals to be accomplished when they are better to be understood, when they are better understood as means towards the goal which is already accomplished. These become the means to reveal the goal, which is myself, which is ever accomplished, ever free. That is what moksha is. And so therefore, instead of going goal, round and round in dead ends, I convert these various goals which are Jagat oriented, Jagat connected, which are sense organ driven, all of them I convert into means. What does this mean? Converting them into means. Converting them into means for self growth and maturity. Oh, but what kind of a maturity I should have? The maturity to understand that these are means. Isn't that a catch-22? Yes, it is. But Kaschid Dhiraha, the Upanishad says it takes one person to break through this catch-22. One inquiring mind is all that is needed. And how many people are there in the course? 50. So what to talk of 50 inquiring minds? See how far one can go. So this is, this is not to be understood as some kind of a restrictive injunction. All the time the Bhagavad Gita is telling me, wrap up the raga dvesha, wrap up the raga, beat the dvesha, put it aside, and what? Suppress the needs and suppress, repress. And as a result, what? I become depressed. Everything I have to suppress. And so it's easy to take these verses for granted and then do what? Tune out. Tune out. Go into some kind of a fantasy. This happens even when the teacher is present in the class in person. And what happens? So I'm looking at the person and suddenly the person is looking elsewhere with a glazed look and a slight smile playing on the lips. Then I say, okay, I have to find somebody else to look at. This happens not because one is not interested. One is interested. That's why one is here. One is very much interested in this knowledge. But the focus of the Bhagavad Gita is Raga Dvesha management in order to get to the place of preparation for the knowledge. Self-knowledge, aka moksha, is 9/10 preparation and 1/10 understanding. So this is a preparation heavy, a prerequisite heavy pursuit. The only pursuit that there is, it's not even understood as a pursuit because the prerequisites are not there. So the prerequisite is emotional maturity. And so keeping on hearing these buzzwords. Buzzwords means what? These things which are, catchy words for the Bhagavad Gita. Spiritual growth. Been there, done that. Emotional maturity. Yeah. I have heard it. Raga, Dvesha, management. Yeah. That was already explained in chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and now chapter 5. Okay. One can get glazed, one can gloss over the beauty of how easily this is being explained and how wonderful it is. But if one glosses over the loss is for oneself. The loss is for oneself. One loses. So if the students gloss over each time Ragadvesha comes, if the student checks out, what will happen? As Acharya Swamiji said few days back, the teacher will get moksha because the teacher is teaching with great passion and with great compassion. The teachers are teaching. The teachers will get jnana nishtha. The teachers will be free. And then student will go away without understanding. And so it behooves us to really stop here and to make an internal sankalpa. And what are a few internal sankalpas, that each time the word Ragadvesha and Ragadvesha management comes, I will not check out. I will be even more present and listen even more closely. That is the sankalpa that has to be made. That is exactly the sankalpa I want you to make. Each time it says Ragadvesha management, each time it says these are the things to be given up, I will listen more closely. And in chapter 5 also the same things are being said, similar things are being said, but with a twist. Here the lifestyle of Atma Jnanam is the Atma Jnanam is different. Let me phrase that differently. The Atma Jnanam is different from the lifestyle of a sannyasi. That is what is the crux of chapter 5. One can be a grihastha. Grihastha means householder. One can be anything. And one can be in the world and still gain this knowledge that is possible, provided there is a caveat here, there is a condition here, provided one has managed the ragadveshas. And so we saw in the last two verses, 23 and 24, or whatever it was, 22 and 23, 22 and 23, what did we see? We saw that the two main things we saw very beautifully put. The first one was the understanding that all the things of enjoyment, everything that I enjoy are what? They have an end. They have an end. And then and not only they have a beginning and an end. This is the verse in question. Not only do they have a beginning and an end, but their source is all from sorrow leading to sorrow. So this is something one has to understand. And so therefore, what does the jnani do? The lakshana of the jnani is that the jnani doesn't indulge in them, does not indulge in them. Because indulgence can turn into addiction. So the wise keep away. Whereas those that are not wise, meaning what? Otherwise. This is they are the ones that are that suffer from getting into samsara, which is nothing other than ragadvesha. And then in verse 23 we saw another very important and a beautiful way of understanding this. So here and elsewhere also, we are not talking of suppression of desires, we are talking of management. So the one who is able to manage, sodhum means to manage, to endure. Prasahitum, sodhum means to endure, sahitum, to endure, to be able to manage the force, vega, force of what? Kama and krodha. The force of kama and krodha, saha yuktaha, saha sukhi. That person is the happy one. That person is the one that is emotionally together. And then now in verses 24, 25, and 26, we will find the picture of an emotionally together person, and what is, what that entails, why that inner journey is important, and what that entails. योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति यः yon lot of elisions here, little difficult also to chant the first pada. Yaha, the one, antas sukha means whose happiness is not outside. Antah, the word here is antah. We have this coming 3 times. Antas sukha, antararamaha, antarjyotihi. So the antas sukha means the person is naturally happy. The person is naturally happy. The person is not world dependent. Neither world dependent nor God dependent, Ishvara dependent. Give me something to be happy about. Give me this, give me that, give me good health, give all my family members good health. It's funny, people will pray like this. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. And they will stand in front of the Lord and say, Lokaha, all the whole world, all the people in the world, samastaha, everyone, sukhinaha, may they be happy, may they be bhavantu, may all the people in the world be happy. And soon that prayer is followed by, oh, please take care of my grandchildren, they are so cute, oh Lord. So, are the grandchildren not included in samastaha lokaha? Yes, they are. So this is something we have to understand. This is the person who is not world dependent, the person who is not Ishvara dependent, and then who is the person? Self dependent, falling back upon oneself. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha sthita prajnah tada uchyate. An important word, verse from the Vishnu Sahasranamam. No, 2nd chapter, Sthita Prajna section of the Bhagavad Gita, towards the end of the 2nd chapter. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha, happy by oneself, being oneself. And this is exactly the secret here. Antas sukha. And the next one, antararamaha. Arama means krida. Krida means arama, play. Krida means play. So the one who is delighted with oneself, and the whole world therefore becomes a play. The mithya, when satyam is abided in as the truth of oneself, then mithya becomes enjoyable. When mithya is the goal, then mithya causes sorrow. This is the idea. To make mithya the most enjoyable thing in the world, what one has to do? Go within, Go within, because the world is there is so much, what's the word for it? There is so much outward focus. And here, as we are getting ready to enter the chapter called Dhyana Yoga, the inward focus slowly is going to be emphasized. The inward focus is going to be emphasized. So, Antararamaha, the one who is able to be oneself without needing any source of entertainment. Tatha, in the same manner, Antarjyotihi. Antarjyotihi means the one who is the one who understands I am consciousness. Antarjyoti. The one who understands I am lighting up everything, including the sun and the moon, the luminaries upon which we rely during the day and during the night, respectively, to conduct our affairs. But then the wise person knows the light of all lights, which is me, is the one that is illumining what? Even the sun. Even the sun is being illumined by this light. This light is what is illumining even the sun. And I am that inner light, because of which all lights are there. All lights are there. And so this is the Jnana Phalam. What happens? Jnana Phalam. So one is this Antasukha, and then Antararama, Antarjyotihi. So the one who is aware of oneself as consciousness all the time, aware of one's fullness, inner fullness, and all these things. I mean, what to talk of human beings, and even our devices which are inert, smartphone, laptop, tablet, not the kind you swallow, okay? This like a tablet on which you write and all these things, these small little computer devices. All of them need to be recharged. At night you have to plug them in. They get drained during the day, and at night you plug them in. Sometimes as they grow older, they cannot even wait till night. They have to be plugged in numerous times during the day itself. Isn't it? And so, if this is the truth for the inner, our inert devices, in order for them to function optimally, they have to be plugged in and recharged. And then how can I forego my own recharge? How can I do that? How can I say I don't need solitude? I don't need time to collect myself. How can I say that? How can I say I'm going to just plunge headlong into the world and just keep swaying however it takes me? That is the problem to begin with. This is why one is in the ashram, because there is not much expected. There is not much expected of one, and so therefore what can one do? One can just be freely focusing on going within. Is it comfortable? Not always. Sometimes discomfort is there. Bubbles of anger, bubbles of pain, foam of sorrow keep coming to the surface. Waves of desire keep crashing to the shore. But I know, despite that, I don't focus on that which is moving. I focus on the deep ocean. I focus on the oceanic self, which is full and free. And then what? The bubbles come and go. The ocean is not worried. Oh, so many bubbles. The ocean is not worried. Ocean is not worried if there are more or less waves. Ocean is not worried if it is roaring or calm. Ocean is not worried if it has too much foam on the waves. No, I am the ocean. This is what is Antarjyoti. And therefore, even if the lifeless devices have to be plugged in order to function, I have to plug in myself as well. Where? Which is the source of the juice. So for the devices, the juice is electricity. For me, it is the juicy Atma. because of which everything in the world appears juicy, interesting, exciting, full of sara, juice, rasa, essence. And that essence is essentially myself, I have to understand. If the whole world is bathed in the essence of Atma, why is this body, mind, sense complex foregoing that essence? This is what one has to understand. Why am I depriving myself when the whole world is bathed in the essence of Atma? I am also needing to partake of this knowledge that I too am bathed in the light of the Atma, which is the only source of joy, which is the only source of entertainment, which is the only light of all lights. Jyotisham tad jyotihi. Jyotisham jyotihi, the light of all lights. So why am I depriving this plunging, this immersion into the I? By accommodating for during the day some moments of inner life, solitude. And this practice is well on the way to becoming a yogi. Sa yogi brahma nirvanam adhigacchati. That yogi, after the drop of the body, we have to add, it is not mentioned here, sahayogi, that yogi, the one that is described in the first line, that yogi gains Brahma Nirvanam, means gains oneness with Brahman, adhigacchati, when? After the fall of the body. Oh, do you mean to say she is not Brahman now? No, he is Brahman now itself. But after the drop of the body, does not need to come back. That's why Brahma Bhutaha, Brahma eva adhigacchati. So he already Brahma Bhutaha, already Brahman, already liberated, and after the drop of the body, there is no other place other for them to go except Brahman. Next one. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः सर्वभूतहिते रताः. Labhante. So what is the reward here is given, and who are the people getting this reward? If I want, what is the reward? I have to know of this kind of a life. Who are the people getting this award? I have to know. And what do I have to do in order to get this reward? That also I have to know. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam. These people who gain this oneness with Brahman, who can then enjoy all desires without getting hijacked by them, because they are plugged into the source of joy, source of all ananda, which is themselves. They are ever plugged in, constantly recharged without getting drained. If you can imagine a device like that, unimaginable. Even the solar energy also stops at some point. But here, this source of energy, this source of power, which is Satchid Ananda, never stops. A limitless supply of power when I am plugged into, then if there is a power cut, no problem. If there is any kind of a cut in the desires, no problem. If there is sorrow, no problem. Why? Because I am plugged into the limitless Ananda. So they gain that, they have gained that. Who are these people? Rishayaha. Rishi, Rishi means Rishati Janati, the ones who know the Atma. Here is called Rishayaha, sages and saints. Who are they? Kshina Kalmashaha, from whom all papas have gone, all problems have gone, all emotional sorrow, problems, all these have gone. Rishayaha Kshina Kalmashaha, from whom all the difficulties, papas, desires, etc. have gone. They have antahkarana shuddhihi. And then what is that? They are what? Chinnadvaidhaha. Chinnadvaidhaha. Chinna, broken, cut asunder, cut. What? Dvaidhaha. Dvaidha means duality. Duality and doubts. Duality and doubts. So when there is duality, doubts arise. Why not this way? Why only that way? Why should I do this? Why should I not do that? Doubts arise. Why? Because of duality. So the doubts arising on account of duality are what? Completely dispensed with. There is no duality. Why? Antararamaha we saw earlier in the verse. There is no duality to speak of. Nothing is there. And then why? Because they are yatatmanah. Yatatmanah. Yata means disciplined. Disciplined. And disciplined within. They have tremendous inner discipline. Tremendous amounts of inner discipline they enjoy. And enjoying in inner discipline, they are free, outwardly free. Free to do what? Free to go to a movie? No. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Free to naturally help others. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Sarva bhuta means all beings. Hite means for their welfare. For their welfare. Hita is welfare, comfort. So those who are constantly mindful of other people's welfare. Rataha, committed. Those who are committed. Rataha means who delight in living for others. Who delight in totally living for others, not for themselves. Not for themselves. They don't live for themselves because why? They don't need anything. They are plugged into that source of, they are plugged into Brahman as the source of constant joy. They have turned inward and then unplugged from the universe and then plugged into Brahman within. And so therefore, they are constantly joyful. They have purnatvam, they are full, and then they feel full, they are limitless. And so when one is free and limitless, then it leaves you free to work for others. It leaves you free to think about, oh, this one needs this one needs that. Not from a pain, because sometimes one works for others from an inner pain. I can't have this, let me give it to others. No. I can't stand looking at you, so let me help you. No. There is no inner pain. And so the Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha means freely. They are just there and they are a source of help and well-being. Oh, what do they do to give this well-being? They don't do anything. Just sitting there, they are a source of tranquility. That's why in the tradition there is this emphasis on darshan. Please give me your darshan. They tell the jnanis, people go and tell jnanis. Why? Sitting in front of them, one is happy, not doing anything, not needing anything. The jnani may not even lift a finger to help. The jnani is just sitting there. Maybe talking, maybe not talking, doesn't matter. But in their presence, there is almost like a certain coming home. By osmosis, as it were, their inner sense of well-being passes on to one. But only for a short time. Because when you leave the jnani's presence, all the pain and the sorrow comes back. And so you have to do the work yourself. Can't just sit in front of the jnani and do what is called jnani gazing. So don't spend the life jnani hunting and jnani gazing. Jnani gazing will give you what? 5 minutes of tranquility. That you can have by watching one YouTube video. Why do you need to jnani gaze? So jnani gazing, stop. Jnani hunting, stop. Why? Because let that gaze which is crying to sit in front of the jnani and have darshan, let that darshan, that the pining for darshan be turned within, and may you look at yourself, who is who is Ishvara, who is really the jnani wannabe. The one who wants to be a jnani is you. And as long as even the spiritual pursuits, like I have to collect darshan, I have had the darshan of this Mahatma, that Mahatma, whatever. What about this Mahatma? You are the Mahatma who is pining for that inner darshan. That inner darshan, the absence of it is what is stopping you from understanding your own Mahatmya glory. And this is exactly the idea that is conveyed in this verse. And then further, let us see. Further, so sarvabhuta hite rataha. So next one, कामक्रोधविमुक्तानां कामक्रोधविमुक्तानां यतीनां यतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्. I told you that many of the sannyasis' names in our parampara is Pujya Swamiji has taken from Bhagavad Gita, and here is, and the Upanishads also, and here is one more, Viditatma. There is Swami Viditatmananda, one of the most senior disciples of Pujya Swamiji. In fact, Acharya Swamiji also studied with him, and so Viditatmananda is the name. Viditam Atmanam Yena, by whom the Atma has been understood. And then you add Ananda to it, it becomes Viditatmananda. So here, further the description of the Jnani becomes a sadhana for everybody else. And what is that? Kama Krodha Vimuktanam. See, another name. Vimuktananda has also come here. See, I told you the sannyasis' names are all here. Yeah. So Vimuktananda is here. And so Vimukta means freed. Those who are free from Kama and Krodha. And I hope you don't want me to define Kama and Krodha. And if you want me to define Kama and Krodha, please send me a WhatsApp message and I will talk to you. Okay, yeah. So Kama, desire, Krodha, anger. I hope you don't want me to unfold that again, because we have already done that. That is the idea. Vimuktanam, those who are free of the hold of Kama and Krodha. Who are they? Yatina, the yogis, jnanis, yatis. And who are, how did they become jnanis? Yatachetasam. Yatachetasam means self-disciplined. Yam, to discipline, to restrain. Yata, passive participle, disciplined cheta. Those of disciplined cheta. Cheta means antahkarana. Those who have antahkarana shuddhi and chitta naishchalyam. Those who have focus, those who have concentration because of the inner discipline. And then what are they doing? They are not constantly running after things. That is the idea. They have inner discipline. That is how they have become yati, yatnashilaha. Yati means yatnashilaha. Then meaning that they have worked for it. They have put an effort. It did not come naturally to them. They have put an effort to rid the mind of the hold of Kama and Krodha. They are free of that. They have self-discipline. Therefore, they are called Yati. Abhitaha. Abhitaha Brahma Nirma. Abhitaha means right, right in front. And, right in front they have what? Abhitaha Brahma Nirvanam Vartate. They are assured of moksha. Brahma Nirvana is moksha. They are assured of reaching Brahman. Who is this Brahman? Themselves, not anybody else. They themselves are the Brahman they want to reach. Reach is again within quotes. And so, Abhitaha Brahma Nirvana, they are looking at this. Abhitaha means all around them is moksha. Moksha is calling out to them. Abhitaha Brahma Nirvanam. They are looking at moksha. They are there, they are looking at moksha, and then they are not, they are free of kama and krodha. They are free of kama and krodha. They are looking at moksha in the face. They are staring at moksha, as it were. They are, so the kama krodha is gone. So then there is a patha Veda here. Vimuktanam it is here, and then in another reading, I am reading in the Bhashya, which I have open here, Kama Krodha Viyuktanam. Same thing. Viyukta means whose train has been unhitched from kama krodha. So let's say my compartment was hitched on to the train called kama krodha, and where is this train headed? For certain derailment. That train is headed, it's a train wreck, it's a train crash. Viyuktana means for those who have unhooked themselves from this runaway train which is going to crash. So Viyukta is also okay. Unhooked from the desire and anger. Viyuktanam. And then, so Viyuktanam, Yati is, Yata Chetasam means the Antahkarana is disciplined. Disciplined antahkarana. So then moksha vartate, for them Brahma Nirvanam is assured. Assured. They have the right perception, and so they are surrounded as it were by moksha. Moksha is them. Moksha is all around them. So for whom? Viditatmanam. Viditatmanam. For those who know for those who know the Atma and who have, who know the Atma and who have inner discipline, this liberation is assured. This liberation is totally, fully assured. There is no possibility of not getting moksha, not getting moksha at all, because abhitaha means now moksha is there, and then later on after the dropping of the body also moksha is there. And then since I'm looking at the Bhashya, I cannot but refrain from sneaking in the Adi Shankara's definition of krodha. He has here a small definition which is very interesting, which is one word, a very long word. Let us just take a small look into it. Okay, yeah. Gatra prakampa prasveda sandashtau shashta putara shashtaputa raktanetradilingaha kamaha krodhaha. So this krodha and kama. So now you don't need to send me a WhatsApp message because we are going into this wonderful thing. So the anger is indicated, he says, by gatra prakampa, by the trembling of the body. One is not trembling because one is cold. Very interesting trembling. One is trembling because one is hot and heated with anger. Heated with anger. So very interesting trembling. Gatra prakampa and prasveda. Prasveda means, prasveda means sweating, profuse sweating, profuse perspiration, and trembling of the body due to the heat of the anger. Sandashta aushta, aushtaputa, the biting of the lips, biting of the lips. Aushtaputa means lips. Sandashta, nicely bitten lips. The lips are bleeding because one is biting the lips out of anger. Rakta netra, the eyes are red and rolling. Adi means there may be more signs of this. Adi linga, linga means the signs. So this is the this is this is Adi Shankara's definition of the definition of krodha. Very beautiful. Then further, uh, let's see. Or Ashok, yeah, this we have done. The next two verses, after this, naturally, the next two verses are getting ready to help us go within, because this whole chapter has been to go within. Because without, what is there? A big headache, a migraine, which you wish belonged to somebody else and not. I wish it was not mine. I wish it was somebody else's. But it cannot be. It has to be mine. That's why it's called migraine. And so this is the we saw the whole crux of the chapter is finding sources of tranquility within. And Lord Krishna, being a Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha, being very mindful of giving this knowledge to Arjuna and through Arjuna to all of us, is very, very compassionately addressing this issue in the next two verses and also in the next chapter. The next two verses, the basis for meditation is going to come, because Lord Krishna knows that Arjuna doesn't know how to even spell meditation. Forget doing meditation. Forget performing some kind of an exercise called meditation. One is unable to even spell the word. So foreign it is, because going within is one is not used to, one is not accustomed to at all. One gets restless and one gets upset and and then one feels pointless. Why am I doing this when I could sleep for extra half an hour? As we have seen from the dwindling attendance for the meditation classes. We know this. We have pratyaksha pramana that we don't know how to meditate, and we don't care to know, because the value of the inner value of this meditation, the value of going inwards, is not understood properly. And so therefore, in an attempt to make one understand, the next two verses are going to tell us to shut out the to keep the external, to learn to keep the external world external. Before you meditate, don't let the external world come inside. And then, to help go within, we close the eyes and then we focus on the breathing. And then what? And then focus on the breathing that is going within and without. And then the person who is, the person who is wanting moksha has to learn to go within. That is going to be the crux of the next two verses, and we will see that with demonstration of meditation also in the next class. That doesn't mean you think of the Bhagavad Gita also is going to be converted into a meditation class, therefore I'm not coming. You are coming. All right, yeah. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.